The NVIDIA RTX 50 series GPU launch is nothing short of disaster. The reason for the disaster involves all sorts of blunders from NVIDIA, like the supply shortage, the power cables melting, the missing ROPs, the incompatibility with older physics. The latest one that came out, the RTX 5070, oh boy, the embargo just got lifted. The reviews came in, and do I even need to click on the videos where their expressions, titles, and thumbnails say everything? I watched them all anyway, and yeah, it's not good for NVIDIA right now. It's not good for gamers in general. I have always told people that the bare minimum for a PC upgrade is around 2 to 3 generations. That's a leap from my old college laptop to my current laptop right now. It's a huge upgrade if you can keep your PC or laptop to last that long. But hey, if you really want to play it safe, you might as well bump that to 3 to 4 generations at the minimum. I want the PS5 Pro as a scam crowd on this. Well, I didn't call PS5 Pro a scam, I called it a terrible value, but even if I did, I was there when I called the RTX 50 series out. I talked about this when they removed support for 32-bit physics on older titles. I love old games, and NVIDIA is like, screw you people who play these old games. We bash terrible hardware and launches all the time. This isn't the own that you think it is. We love PC gaming, and that's why we call out these hardware manufacturers for screwing things up. And boy, NVIDIA really screwed this time. Thank you, Radeon. Thank you to Intel. And even if you're more of a console gamer, please stay away from the PS5 Pro. Just stick to the original PS5. I am glad I delayed this video for a couple of days because the embargo for the RX 9070 just came out. And wow, what a contrast of opinions. It's straight up universal love and acceptance from a lot of the tech reviewers for the RX 9070 compared to the disdain that was the RTX 5070. Well, the RX 9070 XT that is. The non-XT variant is just sort of there. Radeon and Intel have always been playing catch-up with NVIDIA. They're catching up with the ray tracing and the AI upscaling technology, but in my opinion, Radeon and Intel don't really have to win the absolute high-end. They just need to win the budget and mid-range segment of the market, and so far, AMD is hitting it. And Intel is hitting it too. It's nice to see a big player in the market that's way too comfortable at winning screws up big time. That's an opportunity for competitors to come in and provide better alternatives for the consumers. I do wish that Radeon and Intel are more competitive in the laptop GPU market. That market is still NVIDIA dominated. It would be nice to have competitions there. But for now, it's nice that NVIDIA got spanked in the desktop area. Man, the disastrous launch of the RTX 50 series got some people really grasping at straws. Screw PC gaming confirm, just get a PlayStation 5 Pro! Yeah, this person quoted the video from Jay's 2 cents where he said screw PC gaming, but it wasn't him saying that. He said that he read people on Reddit saying all that, and that they might as well buy a PS5 Pro if PC gaming is really that expensive and underwhelming.
There are an awful lot of people saying, I'm just going to get a PS5 Pro and a monitor for cheaper than what one graphics card would cost.
And to be honest, I don't blame them for making that statement, considering how PC gaming right now is in an absolutely disastrous state ever since the RTX 50 series launch. The latest one, the RTX 5070, guys, just look at the faces of these reviewers. Look at the titles, the thumbnails, the overall disappointment from everyone. That says a lot before I even began watching the videos. And even so, the solution is not to buy a PS5 Pro. Buy the original PS5 if you're a console gamer. If not, then buy older or used PC parts. Buy laptops if you travel a lot or you need that portability. Stick to your current hardware and play some old games until the situation died down. Anything but buying a PS5 Pro is a terrible value. PlayStation 5 just killed over Xbox and PC massive waste. PC massive waste, that's a good one. No, the PS5 would be a massive waste. I don't play games that often, but I do work often, so I need a PC more than I need a PS5. 90% don't own PS5 or PS5 Pro level performance level systems. That's perfectly fine. That's why PC gaming is great. It offers a lot of flexibility for people with all sorts of bills and budgets. Even at its most overpriced state, the PC is still worth more to me than a console ever will. So sorry to all the fanboys out there. If I really want to play a PS5 game, the rental is next door for $1 an hour. We got plenty more gaming related and console war supla, but before I get to those, if you like it so far, don't forget to click the like button, comment, subscribe, and leave some tips. Sponsor the channel through any of these means, including being a YouTube member. Links below. Here's an observation from a PlayStation fanboy. Seeing more and more Xbox channels switching over to game on PC. I mean, Yeah, that's just the logical conclusion that most Xbox gamers would do because Xbox can't win on exclusivity anymore. That's what Phil Spencer said. Just purchase a PS5 Pro and have a console more powerful than 80% of what these dog poo PC folks have. I mean, I can, but I'm not looking for performance. I'm looking for flexibility. I can't carry my PS5 Pro anywhere, but I can carry my gaming laptop anywhere and plug it into a nearby power outlet. I can play games and work. That's what I do all the time. That's my use case. Yes, the PS5 Pro will technically play games better than the two of my gaming laptops, but I can't use it for work, and I have to be in front of a monitor or a TV to play games on it. They are playing at 1080p, 60 FPS, 120Hz with HDR. Wait, what? That sounds pretty freaking awesome, actually. I've played games on way worse than those settings, and I'm perfectly happy with that, because the games are still fun. This person said that they're playing at 4K 240 FPS with HDR and full path tracing, but the guy said, "You're in the minority, so nobody gives a damn about what you think." You clearly do, because you took your time to reply to the guy. Otherwise, you just ignore it. You're so stupid, you folks thought paying $3,000 was a great idea. Most people don't pay $3,000 for their PC. Most people pay around $1,000 for a mid-range PC. Some even paid way less for a budget one. I thought you said that you don't care about the minority PC gamers that have amazing hardware, and yet here you are caring about them. Make up your mind, bro. People really should read what they're about to post before they post it. You suckers don't buy games just like the mobile market. Really? PC gamers don't buy games just like the mobile market? Most mobile games are free, but that doesn't make the business unprofitable. If anything, it's the most profitable gaming market to this day. You guys have certain games you heavily invest your time and money in. Yeah? What's wrong with that? You're all still playing League of Legends and World of Warcraft. I never played either, but I do play old games that were released during the times where they were popular, if that counts. I don't see how this is a bad thing. Just like mobile gamers, you sink a lot of time and money into old-ass games. I see nothing wrong with this. That means you guys are spending less money on the new ones. That's a good thing. New games generally suck. Why is this a bad thing again? Because new game developers don't get money? Then maybe they should make better games. It's not our problem if their games spectacularly failed. Some console fanboys resort in some really dubious data to own the PC gamers. When you look at the data, you guys don't buy games. This guy then cited this data where it shows the PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox sales percentage in the top 10 best-selling AAA third-party games of 2024. I cannot find the numbers that this guy is referring to, even with the sources mentioned. I also couldn't find any conclusive sales breakdowns based on platforms on any of these games. I do agree that generally, games tend to sell more on PlayStation, but only in certain countries, and definitely not by this much. In reality, it's a trade-off between PlayStation selling more or PC selling more, depending on the games in the region. But even so, it's not as drastic as this chart make it out to be, especially when the numbers make no sense. Metaphor has more PlayStation players than Persona 3 Reload. That's ludicrous. Persona was a PlayStation exclusive franchise for a while now. How the hell can a brand new multi-platform release like Metaphor has more PlayStation players than the franchise that was a PlayStation exclusive? Also, what the hell is up with that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth numbers? Yes, Yakuza was a PlayStation franchise for a while, but there is no way in hell that a franchise like Yakuza can rake up those insane numbers for their PlayStation players. Those numbers should have gone to FIFA 25, FC 25. Sports games are more popular on consoles than on PC, and that is a shockingly low number for PlayStation gamers playing FC 25. Yeah, these numbers are totally made up. A lot of these sales breakdowns by platform are inconclusive, and it's definitely not enough evidence to prove that PC gamers don't buy games. Speaking of buying games, just because these games are being sold doesn't mean that you have to pay for these ridiculous prices. You look at stuff like this and you wonder why people are choosing to sail the seas for their games. Look at these insane game prices. Hunting Ground for the PS2 is an underrated gem of the survival horror genre, one of the best in terms of sound design and atmosphere. But for $400, you're out of your mind. Oh, don't worry, there's a cheaper version that doesn't have the original box for $285. $5. You just get a dual case and the game. It's a great deal, right? Some of these prices are even more baffling. I have no idea why Trails of Cold Steel 2 there is sold for $150. It's still being sold online for way cheaper. And you could probably even get discounts on the whole Trails saga or even Neon Falcom games as a whole. Failing that, sail the seas. Actually, just sail the seas for all these games. River City Girls 2 for $80 is absolutely nuts. Resident Evil Code Veronica X for $200 is insanity. What is that X game made by Atlas? Wait, Atlas? The SMT Persona Atlas? Oh, it was published by Atlas in North America and Enix before they were joined with Square. Yeah, I need to remind you guys time and time again that while physical copies of old games are great, that only works if you still have a working console of those games. The best way to store your digital games is and always will be pirated digital copies, as in the file of the game in the form of ROMs or game installers. You can install those as many times as you like and play them as many times as you like. These old games are super expensive, but if you can snag them from the 7 Seas, there is one game that I think a lot of you should check out. This keeps popping up on my timeline, and for a good reason. Sonic Unleashed is definitely one of the most interesting mainline Sonic releases. Some love it, others hate it. Personally, I really like it. While I am more of a fan of Sonic outside of the games, and the story for Sonic Unleashed is not that particularly interesting, I like the dual gameplay, and I like the soundtrack. Sonic Unleashed is on my timeline because some mad lads recompiled the Xbox 360 version of Sonic Unleashed and make it so that it's playable on a PC. They take the Xbox version of the game and make it so that it's playable on a PC without any sort of emulation. You run the whole game straight through it. It's amazing! Regardless of your opinions on Sonic Unleashed, the ability to take an Xbox 360 game and then just make a PC version out of it is spectacular. I cannot wait for the guys who are developing this to do the same thing for the Xbox 360 versions of Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter and Advanced Warfighter 2. Seriously, why is the best version of those games only on the 360? If you want a taste of Sonic and his werehog form, it's out for grabs on the seas. Alright, enough about old games. Let's talk about new games instead. Monster Hunter Wilds is well received by people in terms of the gameplay, but the PC port is not as well received. Some people have reported issues with the performance, others can fix them with mods. It's definitely not a great launch. This person made a shocking discovery related to the game. Monster Hunter Wilds didn't run on the Steam Deck, barely playable on the ROG Ally, but it is shockingly good on the PlayStation Portal. Oh wow, that's a no-brainer then. Just get a PlayStation Portal if you want to play Monster Hunter Wilds portable, right? No, please don't do that. That's a really stupid thing to do. Why? Because the PlayStation Portal is a remote player for the PS5, not an actual portable console with full functionalities. It's a freaking big-ass tablet with the DualSense controllers being jammed to its sides. And did I say that it's a remote player? This means you need a PS5 to play this game. You can do the exact same thing on the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, or any of the PC handhelds if you have a gaming PC or laptop in the same network, and you're playing the game remotely using Steam Link, Parsec, Moonlight, or any remote gaming programs you like. And depending on the PC you have, it might actually run the game better than a PS5. Oh, and you can also remotely play PlayStation games through your PC, laptops, or smartphone. No, PlayStation Portal, this is not the own that you think it is. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. Also, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below. Just $1, and you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.